Yes.
Let's go through the actual game. So, game plan coming into this game. Now, the Nunu is able to replenish a lot of his HP, but if you get to him before the crab or when the crab just spawns and you manage to catch him in his jungle, you actually end up getting him in a situation where he can't fight you, and then you just get a kill against him because you're an assassin. You're very strong at early game skirmishing. So yeah, so when you're doing this ward, always just make sure that you're recalling and then you drop it at the end of your recall, just so you get it out for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Right, now the next big thing is actually how you're clearing your camps. Now this is somewhat of a problem because you're not actually kiting your camps anywhere near enough. So as we can see here, we want to be walking it backwards until it starts walking. So the problem that we're doing is we are currently, like, we're hitting it and then walking back, and then when it's going to auto again, we're walking back in. So we're not actually kiting it. What you want to do instead is you want to auto attack it when it auto attacks you, and then you move, and then you let it come to you, and then you hit it again. So you want to make sure that it's actually moving.
I was doing that randomly, I guess.
Yeah, you want to make sure that it's actually moving when you kite. So here we walk out and then we walk back in, we get hit, we walk out, we walk back in. So it's not moving at all.
So when he hits, I hit, right?
Yeah, so you want to kind of just use your autos, use your Qs, like just normal. But when he hits, you want to move. That's the most important part.
Okay.
Because then if you move, he'll come with you. What you can even do then is because you're not actually... So the way this patience meter works is if you're kiting him outside of his range, which is actually like here. So if you're kiting him outside of here, the patience will drop. Or if you're, say, just kind of kiting him too much and making him hop aggro too much, then he'll reset too. So what you can actually do is just keep hitting him, walking to here. And then when it gets low, you can actually walk it to here. And you can be here, auto Q to finish it off. And then you instantly start Gromp.
Yeah.
So that way you're right next to your next camp. Because look at this now. You have to walk from here all the way to here, doing absolutely nothing. So this is actually impacting the speed of your clear. And these seconds matter because... If, say, for example, Nunu clears everything now, he gets to this, and he's in this area, when we find him, we kill him. Now, if he's, say, here, and there's a scuttle crab by him, maybe he uses his Q and smite on the scuttle crab, and his lane rotates in time to kill it. So these seconds here really matter. They're very, very important.
Yeah.
Now we do this. Again, see, we drag it out, but... With this one, you can drag it out to, if you walk to here, it'll come up, and then the patience bar will start going down, and then you stand here again, and it'll keep it there for you. So this area is like the maximum it'll come to without resetting. So you just want to keep it there, but again, when it drops low enough that it's, say, one auto and a Q away, you start walking, you auto Q, and then you're already here. You know what I mean? So we will
have dragged it more.
Yeah. And then this, so one of the things here is your focus should be on the little ones. So you want to basically queue, like auto the big one, so they all group up, and then queue them all, and then just focus the little ones out. Because then the big one becomes isolated, and you do more damage to it, and you do it quicker.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas, see here, you kill this little one, fine. You then leave this little one for some reason, and now all of a sudden this isn't isolated for a long time. Same with this one too. If you can drag it to here and then it's about to die, you can actually drag it to about here and kill it here. So these are going to be things that you want to practice in Practice Tool, but they're very beneficial. Now here, you want to take your E and you want to E from here directly over into the middle so it does damage to them all. And then you W them all, and then you walk up and then you attack all the little ones off, and then you kill the big one. But you should have also smited Gromp down here, because this takes so much time, and it can do quite a lot of damage. So you can actually smite that way. Sometimes you do end up overcapped on HP though, so that's something to take into consideration. And see, because of these seconds that we've lost, this happens. And then, yeah, here, if you're going to commit to the red, you have to just flash. Or you just let the red reset. Like, because right now, Cho'Gath has been allowed to farm this wave or keep this wave here for free. You know? So all you have to do is back away. Just back away, get in this brush, wait for it to reset, come up again, and then kill it. Or what you can even do is get into this brush, come around here, take this camp, and then come and take this camp.
Then I'll lose a crab.
Yep, but it's whatever. Like, the crabs aren't the be-all end-all. Like, people value crabs way too high. Yeah, it's great to get them, and if you can get double, it's very nice. But if this Nunu doesn't have a clue what he's doing anyway with his champion, then it's not going to matter if he gets 2 scuttle crabs or 52. Like, he's still not going to carry that game.
I was about, if Warwick wasn't there, I was about to be on crab before noon, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
you were. But the Warwick came, and, you know, that's fine. But you gave Cho'Gath a ton of breathing space. So that Warwick coming just allowed Cho'Gath to potentially get back in, but we give Warwick a kill.
You're
which
right.
means we...
Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
I just wanted to say that you're right. If I just went back to the bush and let it reset, I would just waste Warwick time and XP.
Yeah. What we could even do is we walk around here, we sit here, and we'll be able to see him if he's doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
If he's not doing it,
without wasting my smite or flash or anything.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so
I
now
don't even have to E. I just had to go to the bush.
yeah,
and
we just have to be
whatever
patient. Yeah, like the thing is, like, this is the first 4 minutes of the game. Now there is, I won't lie and say that there aren't games that are ended within 4 minutes, but they're not in this elo. They don't occur in gold. Like, unless you've got like Challenger Smurf that gets like 3 kills in a level 1 fight, then okay, but that's unreasonable. That's not going to happen. So yeah, so now we don't get this camp either, which kind of sucks because it gives a lot of XP, but we do want to make sure that we come down and take this Scuttle Crab because he's up there. Now, this is kind of one of the moments where we just need to make sure that we're watching the map a bit more and planning this out. Now, he comes down here. Obviously, we didn't see this. And we sweep this brush. Now, this is really important. Now, if I didn't tell you while you were playing to wait for him to walk up to a minion, would you have done it?
I would have gone to the crags. No crags.
Yeah.
I know, I'm so stupid.
So the thing is, we need to, as a jungle, be able to understand wave states. Now, what is happening in this minion wave?
It's pushing to set.
Yeah, or it's frozen.
Yeah, it's frozen.
Yeah.
No.
So this wave is fine. This will stay here. Like, he needs to try... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so this is frozen. So this is a perfect freeze for set. Now, we need to punish that. Because as soon as this Zed walks up and tries to hit a minion, that's when we want to go. You know?
Yeah.
So we're basically being patient with mid lane, because the thing you have to think of, you can see that their tower is there and theirs is there. So we actually see the entirety of mid wave or mid lane when we're coming to gank it. Now, mid lane is the center of the map, and if you can learn how to play through mid lane, it's very, very good. Now, this is something that we should have done a lot more this game. Now, why should we have played through mid lane a lot this game?
Because Zed is a melee, and
yeah, that's one thing.
And he's like, if he just wasted his W, he can be punished really hard.
So that's one thing. And also on top of that, Set has very good CC. Like, very good CC. And a lot of damage as well. So it means that if you actually gank mid, Set's got plenty of CC, so we can get a lot off. Now, if we gank top lane, okay, he's got plenty of CC, but if the Cho'Gath gets the kill, and we don't...
like, no damage.
Yeah, but this is the thing as well. And also, if Cho'Gath gets that kill, and we don't, then we've just wasted so much time, because there's no point giving gold to a Cho'Gath when he's basically just good on his own. He doesn't need gold. He's just good as a champion based on how his kit kind of works. Now, bot lane is also a possible, but yeah, mid lane is very, very easy to play through. And because we can see it all, the
Was
wave,
yeah,
the mid lane point is now here,
it
which
was the
means
easiest lane to gank.
yeah. Now
Because
Set,
Trish and Caitlyn can just run, or Trish can peel
yeah,
Kate every
yeah,
time I go nearby.
exactly. And now on top of that as well, the way this lane is right now is Set is right next to his tower, so he's completely safe. But if this Zed wants to CS, he has to walk all the way up to this point. So now Set's only got to move this way, but Zed's got all this distance to cover.
Yeah.
So as you can see, so this is referred to as a
And
long lane.
and if he died to in this situation, he will lose a lot of XP, and Seth's gonna get like one level or two levels advantage, I guess.
Yeah,
Because
he
the
gets.
third wave is cannon.
Yeah, he's got to do a lot. But so yeah, anyway, so what we do here, we sit, wait for him to walk up to auto a minion, and then we just kind of come in like this, and then we kill him. Now that's how we should have played it. So this is how we played it. So we play that properly there, and then we walk up and we get a nice bit of poke, and that's great. We get Dark out of his stack. Set is now in control, and even though this wave is going to crash because he didn't control it properly, Zed is now forced out.
Mm.
So now we can do what we want, but we run off. So this was part of your camera, so we won't be able to see your camera until 10 minutes because the recording kind of messed up. But this is to do with your camera, because right now you were looking like this. This was how your camera was when you were in game. But
Yeah.
this fight's still going on, and you know, Set's plenty HP, and so are you. So we could have easily continued this.
Waited.
Yeah, sat in the
on
brush. Now he does have a ward here, but the Nunu just completely ignores that. Now because they see you walking up here, that's when they continue to force. And now the advantage that we got in the laning phase by, you know, getting that Zed's HP is kind of wasted. And now we walk over a ward there. So we get spotted too. So yeah, here. So when we're clearing now, we want to make sure that we're clearing towards this dragon. And that's what we want to be doing for the majority of the game now. Because Warwick is winning top lane. So, and pretty hard as well. And we can't really stop that. Warwick is very strong in the laning phase. So we have to completely write off the Herald. Because unless they end up in a position that allows us to do it, we have to prepare ourselves to not be able to get that Herald. So we focus dragons instead. Now the reason we want to clear this camp off is because we needed 400 gold for our serrated dirk. And now we just go back, continue clearing into the dragon. Now this is one thing to take note of though, and this is really important.
Dirk is 1,100, right?
Yeah, but we only needed 400 because we already had a longsword, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, we had double longsword. We just needed 400 gold for it. So yeah, so this is important as well. When you're clearing your camps out, if your buff is available, make sure to take the gromp first. Now the reason behind this is because now what's going to happen is this respawns. This respawns, but if you go from this camp straight into this, you end up in a situation now where the time that you take to kill this camp is the time you then have to wait for this gromp to respawn. So say if we take 5 seconds to clear this blue buff, we're going to have to sit around and do nothing for 5 seconds to wait for this gromp to respawn.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because these
Yeah,
respawn every
definitely.
2 minutes 15, whereas this every 5.
And you want the blue buff lasts longer.
Yeah, you want to keep it as much as possible, yeah. So this is kind of unfortunate. So here we probably should have pinged for help.
Yeah, we had the priority bowling.
Yeah.
Pike was coming, and
Well, I mean, you don't have hard priority. I mean, they can come, but
yeah,
thingy, it's still not guaranteed. But the more important thing is mid lane is not in a position
being
that...
pushed,
Yeah. So mid lane's not got prio, and bot don't really have massive amounts of prio because this wave isn't crashing, this wave is still pushing in. So, what do you think you should have done in this situation instead of the dragon? So if we want to secure an objective, it has to be a secondary to what? So there's two things that can happen as like step one that can allow you to get dragon. What are they? What are them?
Mid boat priority, I guess.
Okay, so that's one thing, yeah. So if either lane has hard prio, that's good. But if
Yes,
not,
that's
then
like, the perfect situation.
Yeah, wave
to get
into
the
tower.
dragon.
They can't move from tower. We get the objective. Okay. So
The second thing is to make sure Nuno isn't around the drag side.
yeah, perfect. So if the jungler shows on the opposite side of the map, that is another thing
Yeah.
that we can use
Like
to
free dragon.
instantly get the
Yeah.
dragon. Yeah. So, and this is down to again your camera control and what you're doing and where you're looking. Now, I can tell you straight up, I am fairly confident you didn't look bot lane at this point. Because, what does this tell you about the lane?
It's gonna be they're gonna freeze. Like,
No, this is going to slow push in.
yeah.
So this is going to slow push in. Because they're going to kill this one off quite quick. And they've got basically the same... This minion's missing HP. But if she autos this wave, 2 or 3 times, it's going to push in guaranteed.
Yeah.
So I'm saying now it's almost equal HP. So, what should we have done instead of going to the dragon here?
Help bot lane to push to tower.
Lane gank. Lane gank is what we're looking for. Because we could have looked at this wave and saw, okay, this is an even wave. This is coming back into us. So what we do is we go through the lane. And we sit in this brush here. And then we can even sweep this brush. If we sweep through these brushes and a ward spots us, that's fine. Walk up, help them push the wave in. And then you can go to dragon.
What about if I went behind the ward?
You wouldn't be able to get behind this. It covers here. Maybe you could hop.
Okay.
Maybe you could hop from here to here.
Okay.
But knowing that vision range is very, very hard.
Yeah.
And
So,
you don't even know this ward is here. So we don't even know this before we sweep it. So it's almost
Yeah.
impossible to predict this.
So what about if I was in the first bush on the right?
This one.
Yeah. And
So-
I turned my sweeper on.
So that's what you do. You go here, you turn sweeper on, you walk into
Am
this
I get-
brush.
I'm gonna be spotted.
Yeah,
like that?
so, yeah. But that's fine, because then you clear the wards out, and then you just help them push the wave.
I thought sweeper like gonna just deny vision.
Yeah, but you can destroy their ward.
No, I mean just by turning on the sweeper and walking by the ward.
Yeah, it turns it off, but if they literally just look here, they'll see that they've got a ward that's turned off.
Oh, okay.
So
But,
they'll
like,
know that their
I
ward's
feel
not
low
working.
elo like doesn't have the ability to
Yeah. Sometimes, but we don't want to focus on low elo. Like, that's pointless. There's no point focusing, like, how to play at the same level as the players here. We want to play better. So we want to still do
Oh,
everything
okay.
correct,
yeah,
and that's
yeah.
how we want to climb. So yeah, so we could have come for a lane gank here, and got pressure for the dragon. But instead we went to, we could have gone back almost instantly and still maybe smite their way, but yeah, in general, you don't really outsmite a Nunu. That's just not possible. Not if he knows what he's doing. So yeah, so here, what we should have looked to do is just instantly run through mid, clear this wave if we have to, or Set will clear the wave, and we just run straight up to this. And then we can E from here over the wall, and we can just start it.
Yeah, that's true.
But we ran way too long, and now it's too risky. Because we're also caught by Warwick's scent.
I think it's better to take chicken here than red, right?
What do you mean? So
Yeah.
here we should have looked to move. So we're shadowing mid basically by taking this camp, but then we don't move. So we have our ult
Yeah.
available. We should have just gone and tried to... Well, this is the point where we should have evolved. So we should have just evolved instantly and then use that ult to come in the lane and get a kill here. Can see how long this fight goes on for? And he actually
Yeah.
kills the Zed. But because we're not paying attention, he dies because of us. Whereas we could have gone and saved him, basically.
Should I just like ignore the chicken and
Yeah.
evolve and gank?
Yep, it will. No, so if you start doing chickens and then something happens in a lane that's directly next to them, so if something starts happening in mid lane and you're doing chickens, then just go. Just go and help because them chickens are still going to be there when you get back. Yeah, you lose a
Yeah,
bit of
that's true.
time, but if you get a kill or two, amazing, you know? Or if you save that
That's
set's
true.
life,
Yeah,
great. You get to push that wave out
it's
and,
worth more. Like,
yeah. Because now there's a slow push with nobody guiding it. So now that he can just farm this wave for free, when this should have been a point where Set could have been aggressive on him and potentially stopped him getting these minions in return for his HP. So yeah, so now we clear this. Okay, we reset. Now we can go over to this recording now. Just because this is where it recorded from. So now we actually see your first person. So now we can also go over those things too. So yeah, so here now we go for Herald, but it's too late now. I mean, we can control ward and maybe see if he's got a ward on it, which he doesn't, but it's a bit late. So here we just have to get out. But Set's coming, so we can now potentially look to walk up and do something. So here, this was really bad though. Like, you went invisible, which was good, but you didn't start hitting him. He's isolated like right now. Like if he's isolated like that, you do so much damage.
Auto Q.
Yeah, just walk up, ult, auto Q him here. And then if he comes this way, we ult and then we follow him while we wait for cooldowns. And then our E comes back up so we can E on top of him as well. And we have another ult charge.
Yeah, that's true.
So see how we just kind of run through him and we give him time to do things? And now we don't even get a kill. And we die. So see how we mess this up on kind of multiple levels?
Yeah, we were like back to the game and we just throw the game again.
Yeah, but look here again. So this is another thing where you're watching your camp more than you're watching your lanes. Because right here, okay, you get this, whatever. Look, they're diving him. If we looked at minimap, we'd see they're diving him.
Should I turn auto attack on?
Auto attack? No, you don't need to.
Okay, because it's off, and if I just looked away, it's gonna stop from attacking.
But you could also, what you can also do is you can kind of just, like you can hit and then look and then hit again and then look. This way you need to use F keys. So you need to actually start using your F keys. F1 to F5 will target certain points on the map. F1 will be you, F2 will be top, F3 will be, it's off the scoreboard. So on the scoreboard, you've obviously got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it would be, so this is your team. So you would be F1, and then the person that's here would be F2, person that's here, F3, person that's here, F4, person that's here, F5. So it's based on the scoreboard. So if you would say...
I feel it's far away from my fingers.
No, it's not. It's easy enough. It's just a case of you're not used to it. And this is kind of one of the big things with League is if you've never played games before where you have to move your hand around your keyboard, then it's going to be much harder to play the game, and you're also going to misclick things. You're not going to be using all the tools available to you, so you have to get used to moving your hand around the keyboard.
Yeah, that's true.
So F keys are huge. So one of the things you can do is if you hover your fingers on your keyboard right now, on your keys that you're used to, so wherever you have your hand usually, then can you just reach up and kind of like put your hand kind of flat on the keyboard, and you'll be able to reach your F keys, right?
Yeah.
So that's how you want to do it. You just kind of just extend your fingers. That's it. Extend fingers, and then that's it. Like, unless you've got very, very tiny hands, then it's easy enough.
No, it's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it will help you so much because right here, for example, like they were easy kills. Like the Nunu's already got Dark Harvest on, so you can pop that. So yeah, this is fine, but then just turn on the Nunu. Say
so
lucky.
F2 top, F3 mid, 4 ADC, 5 support.
If that's where they are on your leaderboard, then yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, here just go on Nunu. Like we focus on Warwick when he's got his E on, and it just goes really bad. Okay. So yeah, here we shouldn't have stayed. Like, they could easily tower dive us. We should have just run.
Yeah, level 9, level 10.
Yeah.
Like it was really bad of me staying like that.
Yeah. Now here, this
I
was really
wasted my time. Like I could have just farm and be at the Drake side.
Yeah. And now this another thing. Like, we see Nunu top, and their bot lane could rotate. So the last thing we want to be doing is taking a mutual objective. Never take this crab before you do dragon. Ever, ever, ever. You also smite this too. So now you know, your smite
Wasted my
is
smite.
up in 20 seconds, but, you know, like, it's still a big risk. So here, you've already commit, you just have to finish it.
Yeah.
But we do get out, which was good. So this was good to get out. Here, though, like, this blast gun was so bad. Because now you're in a lot of danger.
Went right?
Yeah. Or up, and just gone in between these middle towers. Okay, so... So, yeah, and now this is the thing as well, like, you're behind in terms of damage, so you have to just keep going more damage, because you're behind right now. If you go defensive stats, they're still going to do more damage than you, that's just going to take you a little longer to die. Which can be good in some situations, but you're an assassin, so you need damage.
Yeah.
So this is fine. Here though, just don't farm the camp. You get, like, you get way too tempted to farm camps all the time. This is bad. So, what will your team achieve out of this Herald? What will they get out of the Herald? It's second Herald, 18 minutes into the game, 19 minutes in the game. What are they going to actually get from the Herald?
Maybe they can just drop it top side, and we can group all at the at the Drax side.
Okay, what? But then what's it going to get you? It's going to get you a tier 1, maybe. Well, there's no tier 1. It's going to get you maybe a tier 2 tower at most. Like, the amount of time you have to spend to take that is not worth. Like, that time is valuable. So it's not worth just getting Herald for a tier 2 tower when A, the dragon is coming up soon, and B, you have camps in the top side. Now, what happens right now if the Nunu decides, okay, we can't contest this dragon for some reason? We're not going to go too much into detail. What if he goes, we can't contest this dragon, so I'm going to go and take his camps away instead? That means you're on the dragon, and he can just come and take these camps if they're available. So, instead, you take these camps, you clear everything downwards into dragon, because we've already been clearing these camps in this order. So all game, we made sure that we cleared the camps in this order, right?
Yes, that's true.
So now this is always a path into dragon. Always. And then that allows us to have as much XP as possible, be as strong as possible for that dragon, and if we get time, also backed and spent our gold. So yeah, so here, and this is kind of one of the big things, the junglers of this silo.
800, and we could have gathered like more gold and reset after raptors, then continue a wolf, grum, then drag.
I mean, to be honest, in this situation, we just cleared everything because this Caitlyn's popping off and we can't get the dragon anyway, probably.
Yeah.
So we just get our camps instead, and then if, for example, the Nunu really messes up and say shows here, topside for no reason whatsoever, then we can get it. But it's very risky to ever do a 50-50 against a Nunu. So right now, we just need to prioritize getting to 2 items as fast as possible. As soon as we get our Serpent's Fang, we're pretty strong. Like, we could have backed for a pickaxe, but we're very close anyway to finishing the item. And see, we finished this here, but see, nobody's in position to get this dragon anyway. So we just don't contest it. But you only need 1500 for your Serpent's Fang. So make sure that you actually reset. Yeah. So this was kind of a case of I told you to do it, so you did it. Otherwise, this could have been really, really risky. Because we could have ended up in a position where we're back without enough gold, and then we're really, really behind them because we have to leave base with a lot of gold. So here, see, we get it. Great. Awesome. And now we've got 2 items. So now we fight. Because the Serpent's Fang also, not only does it give a massive amount of lethality for a legendary item, I just realized he flashed, what the hell. Like, not only does it give a ton for a legendary item, it gives the highest lethality of any legendary. But on top of that, it also gives you more lethality because you've got Prowler's Claw, which gives lethality in its mythic. And this is why Prowler's Claw is better than Duskblade on Khazix.
Item.
Yeah, for each item, right. Whereas Duskblade gives haste, and you don't really need the invisibility. Like, you've already got plenty. So yeah, so we get that kill, fine, great, okay, good. Okay, this is good. Okay, now we clear this out, which is fine. Again, our goal is to one-shot either the Zed or the Caitlyn. Which neither have, as we can see here, neither have any armor. So because these are your 2 main targets, and neither have armor, we can buy more lethality at this point, and it's okay. If, say, our main targets did have armor, at this point, instead of getting a serrated dirk, we'd just go Last Whisper. But right now, we're still getting value out of the lethality because they haven't built properly.
Yeah. I mean, our main focus on Zed and Caitlyn, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if they build armor, we go for Last Whisper.
Yeah, so after we get another lethality item, we would go... or actually, I think we end up going it anyway. We can just sit on the lethality. Serrated Dirk is a huge spike on its own, because lethality, if they don't have armor, does a ton more. So on its own, it's fine to just get it, and then we can build, say, our Last Whisper, and then we can decide later on, you know, do we need something like an Edge of Night from CC, which we did, because, you know, they do have a lot that can catch us, and if they catch us with one, they're going to repeatedly get us over and over. Or do we want to just go full out lethality and we just turn it into Yumu's and look to navigate into the backline to one-shot Caitlyn, right?
Yeah.
So this is also another point where we're not paying attention to things that are actually happening on our screen. Now, that sounds simple, but this is actually a really prominent thing that a lot of people do in these elos, is they don't pay attention to what's actually happening on their screen at that point. So Zed, he jumps back, okay, great. Now, why do you think we see Caitlyn on the map? Why do you think she's visible?
The alt.
Exactly. So because she's ulted right now, she's A, stationary, B, revealing where she is, and C, she's looking over this fight. She's watching this fight to see what she can get, right?
Yeah.
Now, she's not going to look at a minimap either, because it's common in these elos. So, you just kill her. She's isolated. If there's ever an isolated target, you go on them. That's how you play Khazix. Like, you have to literally embrace the fact that Khazix is a hunter, you know? You have to hunt people about. It's like Rengar. And this is why some of the best players on certain champions end up, you know, like, they can see a resemblance of themselves in their champion sometimes. Because you have, like, when you one-trick a champion enough, you end up kind of, like, embracing things about that champion. Like, you know, like Khazix, Rengar are hunters. You end up learning how to just hunt people down and one-shot them. So it's kind of to do with the design of the kit. So
yeah, that's true.
So here, we just one-shot her.
I
Easy.
should have auto here, Q.
Yeah, so we should have auto-queued. We wasted our prowlers.
Yeah.
We could have just easily killed her. And then we just keep going. We don't have to worry about Thresh flaying us anymore because we evolved our W. So we're very strong. And now we get Baron. Great. And now, so this, we can't recall here. Because the ocean's up. And, you know, Nunu will be in that side. And there's 3 of them dead. So we need to just rush down to it now and just get it as quick as we can. And then we can reset. So here you're just taking too much poke. You just want to focus the dragon.
Yeah.
And now here, watch this. Watch
I
this.
did, yeah.
Uh,
Couldn't see the trap here.
yeah. So watch the Caitlyn. So we knew that she was in this brush, so she was always going to trap. But we could just jump on top of her. So we should have just jumped from here to here. Yeah, I just got on top of her. There's no way she can get away again. She's isolated. Look how quickly we burst her last time. So this is one of the big things as well. Like, you have to know when you can one-shot someone on Khazix. And this is one of the reasons why I say you have to play him a lot. Because you have to learn how to know exactly when you can one-shot someone. And then here again, see, look how easy this was. Bop, dead, easy. And now on to the next. Dead. And we got his flash because it was a basic attack that killed it. Again, we're really popping off right now. We want to keep our red buff. Even if our team hates us for it, like, if you give red buff to that Israel and Gold Elo and he goes and hits with it, then you just give the enemy something else to beat you. Whereas if you lose it, at least it's your fault and you can learn from that, you know? Obviously, there are some exceptions. If you've got like an Anivia mid lane and you don't give her blue buff, then you're trolling. But like, you know, like things like red buff on Ezreal, it's great on him, don't get me wrong, but you don't really need to bother. So right here, we took way too much damage. So as soon as we see Zed, we just run. Because...
Like you're right. It was pointless of giving Ezreal the red buff, right?
I mean, if he just dies with it, like, then it's whatever, you know? Like, whereas we can at least use it. And we can make sure we make full use of it.
Yeah.
But,
it's like Alt, Auto, Q, like, would just do a lot with the red buff as well.
On you, yeah, of course. You one-shot them. It's great. And it slows them too, so that's even better.
Yeah, it's like, gives me the best opportunity to kill any isolated targets. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, in this situation, we're very strong, but we have a ton of gold, and we're fighting Zed on his terms. So here, we just had to leave, get in the bush, and then maybe one-shot him.
Yeah.
But we didn't, and we ended up dying for it. So here, Edge of Night, because we keep getting caught by things. And again, look at this Caitlyn's HP. We see her, she's alone. Ult early to get in range so she can't see you, and then one-shot. So here, don't evolve Q either. Evolve E. Because right now, you need to be able to jump in, one-shot someone, and jump out. You know? So your E helps
that's
a lot.
True. So when do I evolve Q?
Never. Not with this build.
Oh,
so
okay.
you would go Q if you were going things like Electrocute and playing for early game, but in these elos, you want to just take Dark Harvest because you can get stacks so easily. Like, you haven't really been ganking as much as you could have, and you still have 13 stacks of Dark Harvest. So you're still doing a lot of damage. So it helps a lot. Because right here, imagine if we had our E evolved, we'd have it available, and then we could jump on Zed, one-shot him because he's isolated, and then just jump out. And then we're great, you know?
Yeah.
We still managed to survive. But, yeah, it was very, very close. Now here, like, as soon as you get caught in this Nunu ult, when you're in melee range, you may as well get ready to fight him. Like, you didn't even get your Dark Harvest proc on him. So yeah, you may as well get prepared to fight him, because you're gonna die either way.
I should have evolved A.
Yeah.
I think I would have better scenarios if I had my E on.
Yeah, it's reset, so it's very, very good.
Yeah.
And here we may as well go play it Steel Cats. We've already got our maximum damage, like, items. We're not really going to do considerable amount more damage than what we're doing now. I mean, we will, but, you know, we're going to pick up probably Sorelda's. And then if the game should be over by then or last time, we'd go something like a GA. If actually we're not even that ahead, maybe GA would still be good, but yeah. So the thing is, like, GA is such a bad item anyway that your last item spike is not that big.
So what should, if I was really ahead, what should I get?
So you'd go
instead of GA.
You'd go GA if you were very ahead. Like GA is an item that you go when you're snowballing
Okay.
because the active.
Third item, like third item GA.
No, hell no, not a chance. It'd only be like a last item kind of situation, probably. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
like if you were like 20 and 0, you could maybe get it like third item, but it's if you need to preserve a 700 gold bounty, maybe because you can get stopwatch to preserve it and then GA, but you have to have your core items first. So your Prowler's Claw and your Serpent's Fang, you have to have them straight away. And then the thing is, like, not going an extra lethality option is kind of rough. Or I mean, not getting your Sereldas can be rough here because you end up in a situation where if you get GA and you kind of get shut down, then you lose even more. So it's just a bad item all round. There's very niche times to take it, but as a last item, it can be okay. Purely for the fact that you're going to be in group team fights, you need to jump in, try and do as much damage to somebody that gets isolated, and then if you kill them, you get out. If you don't kill them, your GA pops, and you can then get out.
Yeah. So what's the better choice, like instead of GA?
Another thing is with Khazix, if you get to this point of the game, and then you haven't pushed enough early game anyway. So it's like at this point you just have to get you have to choose your items based on the game state, because yeah, it's kind of rough at that point of the game. You can maybe go something like a Kenpon Chainsword if your team needs it, but again, it's kind of a little rough. You can maybe go like Black Cleaver if say they have tanks, which can be quite useful. But yeah, GA overall is not that great of an item.
What about the Sturk gauge?
Sterax, not really, because Sterax wants a really long fight. So when you get Sterax, you want to be fighting for a long time because then your shield is bigger. Whereas with Kha'Zix, you don't really want a long fight. You want to get in, you want to one-shot someone, and then you want to get out. You know? Like, Sterax is more for a bruiser, whereas Kha'Zix is a little bit more of an assassin. Obviously, you can go bruiser Kha'Zix as well. You can go like Gore Drinker, Black Cleaver, and then maybe a Sterax, but I don't personally like that build, to be honest.
Oh.
Not in these healers, especially.
If I saved my E.
Yeah,
I didn't know they would place a ward. Otherwise, I would have waited.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. The Cho'Gath is actually on his way. You could see him walking and the pike. So instead, you just wait.
I felt like they wouldn't make it on time.
Oh no. Like they don't have a fast Baron. Like their Baron isn't fast.
Yeah.
So no. So here you just wait, and then the Cho puts a ward, and then you can potentially steal. But now you've got no E, and you're still sitting behind the pit. How are you going to get in that pit? You have to go around. And then, what? So this is another thing. This is kind of a hard thing because you should have ended the game before you get to the team fighting stage. But because we played it wrong, we didn't. So now we're at a point where we have to team fight, which, is very risky because there's too many variables in a team fight that we cannot control. So here, like for example, we played it terrible, but we're not going to focus too much on it. So right here, we walk around the back here, but 2 targets are down here. Yeah. And then, we get absolutely nothing over it.
I felt like slowed, and I felt like I couldn't access the the back line.
You could have easily.
Because of,
so right here they start splitting off here, right? So you just walk straight up. You just ult and start going. And then just one-shot one of them.
Yeah, that's true. And maybe I could, because Zed through his W, maybe I could get Kate.
Yeah. See, even Zed there. Do you see that?
Yeah.
This is one of the things why I was saying we're not fully looking at what's on our screen. Because right here, you should be thinking, okay, I need to try and one-shot someone. So I need somebody that's isolated. And then until a Zed walks up, who is isolated, we have our E available, and we just don't use it. See?
Yeah. And if I had my E unevolved, like I
you
could
have killed him and got out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so this we kind of just played it a little bad again. And yeah, here this was kind of risky. Just because they're all coming. So in theory it's good, but look, they're all there, and we see them all coming up, so we just didn't watch our mini-map, and that's why we died there.
Yeah.
And then I think this is just a case where they end, right? Yeah. There's not really that much from this now, to be honest. This was good, obviously, because we isolated the Z. Just one-shot him. If we were going to flash, we should have used it earlier, though. But we do have stopwatch, so we survived there, which is good for us. And now we have to try and force the dragon, just because, you know, that's the only thing we can do. And then instantly reset. Unfortunately, they end here, but...
We got sold, but like...
yeah.
Yeah.
They just end the game. I mean, it's fine, though. Like, we don't really care much about the later parts of the game. They don't matter. We care more about the early game.
The early game,
Yeah, so things like
game.
kiting your camps out, buying the correct items, making less of these mechanical mistakes. All of these things will help you massively. And also always looking out for those isolations. Yeah, play smart and look out for isolation. Make sure you're clearing your camps out. Make sure you're staying strong. We were very strong in this game, even though we fell behind. Like, so imagine if we didn't fall behind so much early. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, so we focus on that. I will upload this video to YouTube as well, so you can watch it back. Do you have any kind of questions or anything just before we wrap up, or...?
No, actually, thank you very much.
No problem at all. So, yeah, I'll upload this to YouTube and then give you a link. And, yeah, good luck with your games.
I didn't tell you, right? When you taught me how to play J4 before.
Oh, I think I did see it in your thing, right? You got offered a spot on an amateur team from it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do have that macro and the way you taught me how to play around objectives and those things, and the when do I get the drag, if I had the prior or not.
Yeah.
And that time I was doing really good with J4. I even like do have the good mechanics with J4, but like I think I found Khazix more fun.
Yeah, that's fair. I did something similar. I played probably thousands of games of J4, and I ended up finding things like Khazix a bit more fun too. So yeah, that's normal. Like J4, you can build as an assassin and still assassinate.
I reached 3 with J4.
Oh really? Damn. So in what, 1 or 2 sessions, what, gold 4 to plat 3 was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, there we go. So let's get you back to plat as quick as possible.
I'm aiming like for like high plat.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do it. So yeah, so like I said, I'll upload this to...
The thing is, here's my question for you.
Yeah.
And I hope you agree for it. Like, do you have some kind of a bundle that I can like do my subscription with you, and you can like guide me from here to like high plat?
Yeah, sure. 1 second.
Maybe
Let me just
diamond,
I'll just turn the YouTube recording off, and then I'll upload it from there, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so